everyone, welcome to Buy Now Sell Now, the weekend edition, the show where we'll answer your viewer queries and of course get you top picks. I'm Mubina Kapasi.
Hi everyone, I'm Avan Dabash. Yes, we've got lots lined up on the show and what an interesting week it's been for the equity markets. We've gone on to breach record highs and it's really been fireworks on the frontline indices with even the policy decision out of the way. Well, lots to discuss today on the show. In fact, we will have some individual viewer queries coming up. So we get viewer queries answered on KRBL. We also talk about the outlook for the metal, pharma and auto sector.
And this time on the portfolio segment, today we'll be discussing HM Manjunatha's portfolio.
Time to bring on board our guests. So let's tell you who's lined up over the next 30 minutes that will be guiding us. Chandan Taparia, derivatives and technical analyst at Motilal Oswal, will be guiding us on the technicals. And on the fundamentals, we have Vikas Sethi, Managing Director, Sethi Finmart. Thanks, gentlemen, for joining in. Let's take it straight to our first viewer query for the day. Well, this one comes in and let's just address the question. It's on KRBL with the viewer asking. He's got about 4,300 shares of the stock at an average price of 178. Question is, should he stay put or completely book out? Well, let's just look at what rice stocks have been up to over the past month or so, and definitely they've been in focus on an upswing. In fact, even when it comes to financials, KRBL has managed to deliver a pretty decent set of numbers in the previous quarter. You'd have a lot of analysts and experts who track the space saying that there is potential for upside. The consumer space is expanding here. You do have a lot more demand that could likely be seen, and even exports could be a game changer. Vikas, in light of all of this, what's the advice on KRBL? How would you approach it from a fundamental standpoint?
As far as KRBL is concerned, fundamentally a good stock. I think the investor needs to be complimented for having bought this stock at such lower levels and holding on to the same and making some wonderful gains. But I feel even at these levels the stock can be held on to, and this is a quality company, and I think in a year's time we could see levels of 500 rupees. So my recommendation would be to hold on to the stock.
Okay, so Vikas Sethi is actually advising a hold when it comes to KRBL. But let's understand a technical perspective. And yes, it's worthy to note the fact that, KRBL is also very closely related to the way rice actually moves. The prices of rice do have an impact on KRBL. But yes, in the last 1 month, in the last couple of weeks, we have been getting news flow from the monsoons, and KRBL is a stock that has been reacting to that. So coming then on the technicals, what's your advice, Chandan? What would you advise him to do?
Yes, talking about the stock, however, we don't have coverage on the same, so don't want to comment. But looking at the technical point of view, the stock has been moving upwards from last 4 to 5 series. It is continuously making higher tops, higher bottom formation and having support near to 370. Till it holds 370, traders may remain long position. The stock is having potential to further start the next leg of rally in coming week.
All right, KRBL is the stock that we are talking about, but we have one more viewer query coming in. Essentially, he says that he wants to invest in some amount in banks, metals, pharma, as well as auto. What is the basic fundamentals that one should know, or rather for selection of the stocks? Well, he's actually pinpointedly noted that these are some sectors that he's actually interested in. Vikas, come in then. What's your outlook and what's the advice you'd like to give this investor?
Mobina, the sectors which he is talking about, they all look good. Banks, metals, IT, and what was the final sector which he was interested in?
Vikas, it's banks, metals, pharma, as well as auto.
Okay. Banks, metals, pharma, and auto. So all these sectors look good. As far as banks, metals, and auto are concerned, they've been doing well. So there's no need to worry as such. But as far as even pharma is concerned, although the sector is reeling under the pressure of the US FDA, regulations off and on, but I feel at the current valuations, the sector looks good. And from within the sector, when he wants to choose stocks, I think he should look at some factors which I'll discuss. The most important thing would be to look at the management of the company, and then I think he would need to look at the financials, the return ratios of the stock, then the other financials like the debt equity ratio, the leverage which the company has. So these are the kind of things which he should look at, and then look for good stocks from within the sectors to invest in from a long-term point of view.
Okay, a little bit dicey to answer this one on the technicals, but Chandan, I'd like to get in your opinion. Take a look at the way, the metal stocks have performed. They've been the stars of the last year. Do you think that the run-up perhaps has been too quick, too fast? What's the outlook on metals? Pharmaceuticals as the space on the fundamental side. Some analysts are advising a little bit of caution given the US FDA woes. What's your sense as to how they would likely pan out on the charts, and any advice when it comes to auto?
Yes, first talking about metals. Here we are talking about Tata Steel. The stock is finding multiple hurdle near to 500 zone, but once it surpasses this supply zone, the stock may start the next leg of rally, which may take it to 525, 530. So we are suggesting to buy on decline near to 480 with stop loss near to 465 level. While in the pharma sector, we have seen selling pressure. So Oro Pharma Lupin will be on radar, but let the stock sustain, let some accumulation happen. In banking space, we have positive on the RBL Bank. This stock has been moving upwards, making higher tops, higher bottom formation. We have seen significant delivery volumes. So here we are recommending to buy on decline with a stop loss of 525 and expecting it to rally towards 585 level. So RBL is in banking space, Tata Steel in metal counter, while TVS Motor would be on radar in the auto pack. This stock is really doing well, trading near to its recent 52 weeks high level. It has made multiple bottom near to 430, 445 kind of zone, and supports are shifting on higher. Here we are looking target of 500 zone.
Okay, well, Vikas has essentially explained to you what exactly you must look for, and Chandan right here has of course given you some stocks that he would like to bet on. At this point of time, let's slip into a break, but when we come back, we'll be discussing our portfolio segments, so don't go anywhere. Welcome back. You're still tuned into Buy Now, Sell Now Weekend.
Well, it's our Portfolio Advisor segment that we're focusing on, so let's get straight to it. Well, today, Mr. Manjanta, it is your lucky day. We're addressing your portfolio. He's got 9 stocks all in all, hails from Bangalore, is a long-term investor, and now wants to know what exactly he should do. So let's find out all the stocks that he holds in the portfolio. It's a lot of mid-cap names that you spot. First up, it's Kiri Dyes. It's about 500 shares purchased at a price point of 300 rupees. Kiri Industries, rather, is a stock that he holds. Lycos Internet, he's got close to 3,500 shares. He's purchased that at a level of about 10 rupees. Moving right on then, there's Bodal Chemicals in the portfolio. 127 is the buy price. 300 shares is what he has.
And keeping with that trend of small cap companies, large quantities, there's also Omkar Chemicals, about 255 shares of that one purchased at 175 rupees. Along with that, there's 1,000 shares of Aero Textiles, a very small cap company. 44.5 rupees is where he's purchased those at. Tanla Solutions, 500 shares at 37.85 rupees.
And there's 3 more stocks in the portfolio. Let's just run you through that list. There's Chennai Petro. He's purchased 50 shares at 278 rupees. Asahi Sangwan, he also holds those shares close to 100 about. At around 250 bucks is his buy price. And finally, JBM Auto, 100 shares picked up at 250 rupees. So let's find out what exactly he should be doing with these investments, how he can better them. Let's get in then Vikas's opinion. Vikas is going to start off with the first 3 stocks. A lot of mid caps in the portfolio. Is it a good buy price? Kiri Industries, Lycos Internet, as well as Bodal Chemicals. How do the fundamentals stack up?
As far as Kiri Industries is concerned, the investor has bought it at a slightly higher levels and it's sitting on some losses. But I would recommend that this is a quality company, and most of the specialty chemicals companies are doing well. So I would recommend a hold on this stock, and my target in a year's time would be 400 rupees on this. The second stock is Lycos Internet. It's a company with a weak fundamentals, a hugely volatile stock. So although the investor is sitting on losses, I would recommend a sell and switch to some other good quality sector and stock. And the third stock which he owns is Bodal Chemical, again from a specialty chemical segment, a very good company. The performance of the company has been pretty good over the past few years, and in line with other companies in the chemical sector because of the disruption which has taken place in China. And this company is expected to do well over the coming years. So I would recommend a hold on this stock, and my target would be 200 rupees on this in a year.
Okay, so while Kiri and Bodal actually get a thumbs up from Vikas, he's actually a bit circumspect when it comes to Lycos, and he's actually advising an exit for that particular stock. But chemicals appears to be a favorite for our investor, as he's got another, chemical company, Omkar Chemicals, which he's purchased at about 175 rupees. It's about 255 shares of those. There's also Aero Textiles, 1,000 shares purchased over there. And lastly, Tanla Solutions, 500 shares at 378.85 rupees. Vikas, come in on these three stocks.
Yeah, Mubina, as far as Omkar Chemical is concerned, although the company is from the specialty chemicals segment on which I'm bullish, but then this stock has been a laggard compared to its peers over the last, say, year or so. So I would recommend a sell because the investor owns some other companies from the sector and he's quite well exposed to the specialty chemical sector. So my recommendation would be to sell Omkar Chemicals and switch to some other sector. And the stock which I would like to recommend at this point in time would be he could invest in an NBCC or an Engineers India, which he does not have companies from that sector in his portfolio. So I would recommend that. And as far as Aerotex is concerned, this is not a long-term fund portfolio stock. He could trade in this stock, and I think on rallies he should get out of this and switch to some other stock. And the third stock is Tanla Solutions. Again, it's a good quality company. The company is mainly into messaging services. It's a dominant player in the A2P messaging services and has been a major beneficiary of the government's effort on digitalization. So I think this company would continue to do well. He's sitting on some profits, but I would recommend a hold, and in a year's time he could get some more returns from this stock.
Okay, that's the advice coming in on some of the other mid caps. Let's get to the last stack of stocks then and getting a view then on Chennai Petro. What do you reckon he should do with this one at a price point of 278? Do you like Asahi Songwan? And JBM Auto has been a pretty smart mover. Do you think that there's more to go given that he's picked it up at 250?
As far as Chennai Petro is concerned, a very good company with solid fundamentals. There is an impending merger also with IOC. And I have a target of 450 rupees on the stock. So although he's sitting on profits, I would recommend a hold. The other stock which he owns is Asahi Songwang, again a company from the specialty chemical segment. This company is also good, has been doing well and expected to do well over the coming years. So I would recommend a hold even on Asahi Songwang, although he's sitting on profits, and my target is 350 rupees on the stock. And the final stock which he owns is JBM Auto. It's a quality auto component company. The company has done well. The performance has been pretty good over the past few quarters, and I would recommend a hold even on JBM Auto with the kind of valuations which it trades at. Those look reasonable, so I would recommend a hold, and my target is 325 rupees in a year.
Okay, well, you're making money in Chennai Petro, Asahi Songwan, they get a hold, and even JBM Auto. Well, Vikas likes the fundamentals, so hold call for that one as well. Hope we've been able to answer all of your queries, but do remember that this is just a model portfolio. Please do consult your investment advisor before taking any decisions. Time to slip into a short break. Of course, when we come back, we'll be addressing the markets as well as getting you some top technical picks as well as wealth creation ideas. Welcome back. This is Buy Now, Sell Now Weekend.
Okay, let's focus in on the markets. And remember, it's been a pretty stellar week to say the least. We've pierced through some very crucial levels on the upside. Uncharted territory, so to speak, with the Nifty cascading past the 9250 mark with quite a bit of conviction. For the Sensex too, the coveted mark of 30,000 was conquered. And you really had a lot of support coming in from the real estate as well as the PSU basket this entire week. You also had the monetary policy decision that was digested. Perhaps the only surprise on that front was the move on the reverse repo rate. So what exactly is the outlook for the equity markets going into the next week, which is going to be truncated? Well, Chandan, let's get in your views. What are the exact levels that you would map out on the index, and do you believe that we would likely sustain the kind of levels that we've conquered?
Yes, recently Nifty made a new lifetime high of 9274, and but in last two trading sessions it surrendered most of its gain. On weekly basis, it is forming a shooting star candle on the weekly chart, which indicates that sustained supply is being witnessed in the higher levels. So some sort of profit booking decline might be seen, but medium term trend may remain positive. On immediate basis, a hold above 9191 may take it to 91339090 levels, while on the upside 9280 is likely to act as a strong hurdle. So traders are suggested to trade in this consolidative trading range. On immediate basis, till it doesn't surpass 9280, we are expecting a small profit booking decline in the market.
Okay, those are some important levels that you must monitor on the Nifty in the coming week. Vikas, come in then on the fundamentals. Of course, the Q4 earnings are something that's going to be keenly watched out for. What's your opinion? Do you think that maybe, the rally may have actually, stopped and now we may see some consolidation going forward?
Yeah, Mobina, I also think so. After the tremendous rally which we have seen, I think it's time to remain a bit cautious. And this has also got to do with the geopolitical tensions which have taken place, US having fired some missiles on Syria. And then over the weekend, we have Donald Trump meeting Chinese premier. So we'll need to have a close watch at what comes out of the meeting between the two leaders. And then since we are at pretty decent valuations, I think it would be time to book some profits. So for investors who are invested in quality stocks, they could continue to hold on to their investments. But for fresh buying, I would recommend that one should wait for substantial correction and then buy into these markets. Overall, from a medium to long term point of view, I still continue to remain bullish on our markets.
Okay, long-term call looks intact according to Vikas, but let's get in those top recommendations as well on the fundamental and the technical side. And Chandan, walk us through your top picks.
Yes, we have positive on the oil marketing company. Most of these stocks have seen strong momentum with rising trading as well as the open interest activity. Here we are recommending to go long on BPCL. It has surpassed immediate hurdle of 660 zone and given a decent closing even after the selling pressure in the broader market. So expecting this rally to continue, one can buy with a stop loss of 660 for a potential upside target towards 700 level. Second trade is buy on RBL Bank. That is a known FNO counter, but this stock is continuously making higher tops, higher bottom formation. We have seen significant jump in the trading as well as the delivery volume. So looking to buy on a small decline with stop loss of 525, and it has potential to head towards 585 to 600 zone.
Okay, those are Chandan's picks, but those are of course coming in on the technical side of the market. But for investors who have more than a 1-year time horizon and are looking to invest their money for the long haul, Vikas, what are some wealth creation ideas you'd like to advise?
Yes, Mubina, the two stocks which I would like to recommend today from a long-term point of view, the first would be an Indian Hume Pipe Industries. It's an excellent company. The company is a manufacturer of Hume pipes and allied products, and in addition to this, the company also undertakes turnkey water treatment projects and sewerage projects. This company is a pure play on infrastructure, the strong infrastructure story in India. The company is also present in neighboring countries like Burma, Nepal, Sri Lanka and Malaysia. And the company has done pretty well over the past few quarters. If you look at its December quarter performance, the performance was clearly very impressive. The net profits went up around threefold from 6 odd crores to 18 crores. So I like this stock at the current levels, and I think one would do well to invest in this company at the current levels of around 410. My target in a year's time would be 600 rupees on the stock. The other stock which I would like to recommend today would be NBCC. It's a PSU Navratna company. The company has a solid balance sheet. It has a very strong order book of around 71,000 crores, which is around 13 times its FY16 revenues, which provides adequate revenue visibility. This company is a major beneficiary of the government's focus on housing and infrastructure through its various schemes like Housing for All by 2022, the Smart Cities project, and the recent budget was also pretty positive for the entire housing sector when it accorded infrastructure status to affordable housing. So this company has a solid balance sheet, clearly debt-free balance sheet and high return ratios and very strong order book. So I like this stock at the current levels of around 175, and my target would be 260 rupees in a year. So I would recommend a buy in this stock as well.
Okay, there you have it. Those are a slew of fundamental ideas as well to watch out for. On that note, gentlemen, would like to thank you for both joining in today on Buy Now Sell Now Weekend. Chandan and Vikas, it's been great having you with us on the show. And with that, it's goodbye from Mubina, me and everyone that put the show together. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next week.
Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/ETNow and don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at ETNow Live. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/ETNow.